Hey friends, welcome back. So in this first section, we're going to look at Google Docs. And in this video, we will examine the basic skills you will need to help engage students using a Google Doc. Keep in mind that Google Docs are not simply word processing functions. They allow you to up the ante on your teaching and on your students' learning to make it the most engaging process possible. So let's get started. The first thing you will do is create a new Google Doc. So the best way to do that is to go to docs.google.com/create. And for any of the Google products, that is the easiest way to get to a blank document. So here you have your Untitled Doc. I like to begin by titling my docs so that I don't get them confused with anything else that might be roaming around in my drive. So here we will name the Google Doc simply by clicking on the title box. My first doc. And that is now named and ready to go. So we're going to cover 5 things in this video, 5 basics. The first basic is font size and style changes, image insert, how to insert a hyperlink, how to change the page color, and how to change your share settings so that you can allow others to work on the document. Because that is one of the greatest benefits of using Doc, that you will have multiple people using one doc if you wanted to. So let's start with font size and style. I'm going to type a brief sentence or two. Really exciting students and my professional development. Okay, so this is the basic. Now the default is Arial 0.11 font. So I would like to show you how to change the font size and style first. So you simply highlight and click on the drop-down menu. And there's so many different types of font, and I love every single one of them. It's so much fun and engaging. So I changed this one, and then we want to change the size by clicking on this drop-down menu, and we'll change it to a big 36. And you can also change the color of some of them just for emphasis, for excitement, for engaging, ways to get students interested and excited in what they're reading or to make a point. So we'll change a couple of that by hitting on the text color. And there you have my first doc is like really exciting for my students and my professional development. Next, let's insert an image. So all of your inserts will be here under the insert function. And it's the first one, insert image. And what is so great about the insert image option is that it allows you to find your image in a lot of different ways. The most common ways, I believe, would be to upload from your computer or your Google Drive, these two. Of course, you can run a search, which is also great. You can do it by the URL. You can take a snapshot of yourself or whatever you are happening to be in front of your webcam. And then you have your albums, which would be saved in your Google Photos. But let's do a search because that can be really helpful if you don't happen to have the image. So you can search by the different images by just simply typing in what you're looking for. So we're going to do a Google search within the insert image function, which is great. So I'm going to just search for an old camera and let's see what comes up. And so we've got these. Now, these don't look too old to me. I believe my father had one of these. So let's just take this first one and select, and that will go in. Now, you can resize this. Absolutely. So by just clicking on the image, you will see these boxes right here. If you click and drag, you can resize this very simply. You can leave it like this. You can center it. You can also wrap the text around it if you want to. So you can see here how to do that, where I see the break in the text if you wanted to insert it in, if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You can always undo and leave it to wherever and however you'd like it to look. It's your doc, so you can style it however you like. Next, let's talk about how to add a link. So the first thing you need to do is to find that engaging web page that you need to engage your students. So let's go to, let's do 8th grade science. And there's so many resources out there that is just fantastic. So let's talk about, let's see, resources for Dr. Beeler's science lessons. So this is a website, and after you've vetted the website and you make sure that it's appropriate for students and appropriate for what you're teaching, all you would do is just copy and paste the site URL. And the site URL is what is listed here in the Omni box. So click once on that, and on any Chromebook, you can hit Control-C to copy or Command-C on a Mac, and then toggle back through these tabs to your doc, and then find what you would like to hook that hyperlink into. So if you wanted to, you could certainly add another piece of text that would allow students to get into that web page. So I'm going to put on science resources. You highlight the text. You click the link here, and then you paste by doing Control-V on a Chromebook or Command-V on a Mac, and click Apply. And you will see now that that resource has now become a live and engaging link for students. If you don't like the color that it turns to, you can always go back, highlight, and change the color back to whatever you'd like. If you want a pink, let's say, to highlight your sources, and you can do that on any hyperlink that you would like. So we love the white paper because it's so easy to read on, dark ink on a light paper, light ink on a dark paper, but you do have the option to change the background of your doc. So let's go to here. It's File, Page Setup, and here it says page color, and you have every color of the rainbow from which to choose. And here is this. We're just going to make this purple. So pretty much everything will show up. Now, of course, your style, what you like, what you don't like is all up to you, and you can design that for however you think will be best for your students, especially if you have some special ed students that it really needs to be clear and legible and not too busy for them. Absolutely design it however you like, but there is that option to be able to do that. So once your doc is all set, or you could even do this before you start designing your doc, you go to change the share settings, because the real meat and potatoes of using a Google Doc is the idea of collaboration between you and the students with themselves. So you would click on this share button, and right now it's private only to me. Share. And then you can type in those people who you will be sharing the doc with. So I'm going to share this with myself and some other folks, and there. And so they will get a shareable link to this document. Send it to them. And now I can see it's shared with 3 people. So the beauty of this is that they can share the doc, they can type, they have editing rights. But let's take a quick look at some advanced settings. So here we have this. If you click on the share button again and you go to advanced, you can see how I have specific people listed that I've shared with. But I can also share this link via email and social media, and I can change it so that it's public on the web, anyone with the link, can access it, or right now it's the default specific people. So let's talk about what these each mean. So anyone on the internet can find and access it. So that would be public. Anyone with the link can access it. So I like anyone with the link can access it if you're working on with students. If I'm publishing something of my own, I would like public on the web. Anybody can find and access, and they don't need to sign in. They don't need the link to find it. They just can find it through a search. So either one of those is appropriate if you're just looking to get it out to people. But in terms of students, I really just like anyone with the link can access. And perhaps your school has their specific domain requirements. And so you should check in with your network administrator about that. So let's just make this public on the web, and they can view. So they can't edit, but they can view. They can view and comment, or they can edit. Now, for our purposes, what you will do when you give this a whirl, you are going to change it to public on the web. Anyone can view and comment. And then click Save. And then Done. And those are your 4 main basics for Google Doc: font size, style, and color, inserting an image, inserting a hyperlink, the page color, and the share settings. Now it's your turn. Let's innovate.